I think what they say about Jeeps is right. Just empty every pocket. Welcome back to the Scale Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. It is stage 2 of our ultimate Gladiator build. This is the Axial Racing SCX-10 Gladiator, and you are starting to see some changes. Things are happening. And not just on the outside. For this episode, it's mostly on the inside. But while we're looking at the outside, why not start there? If you haven't been following along, we're taking the existing SCX-10 Axial Gladiator and taking this mild RTR and making it a wild custom. I highly recommend you go back and watch episode 1, stage 1, if you haven't seen that yet. It definitely starts this build off on the right foot, and we're going to continue that momentum in this episode today. Starting on the outside, some things you'll notice right away. That CC hand front bumper, this is a sort of like actual spec steel bumper group that you can get on your actual JL or JT. It's missing the outer sections. They do offer that bumper as well. I just thought it looked so much more aggressive without the outer sections on there. I've added the RC 4-wheel drive winch and a RC 4-wheel drive worn winch line hub doodad thing that looks pretty cool. The great thing about this bumper is that it is this sort of SLS printed outer shield or outer casing, and then on the inside it's an actual aluminum bumper frame that this all mounts to. There are 3mm light buckets included on both sides there, and it's a pretty great spitting image of the actual bumper you can buy, which is why I had to go with it. I just thought it looked super awesome. You'll also notice that I've done the whole front grille in black here. I just taped around the exterior of the body, sprayed some Tamiya gunmetal. The inside of the light buckets on the real truck are also gunmetal, so I kind of wanted to make sure I duplicated that. And then the rest of it was just PS5 black, and then covered the whole thing with a little bit of Tamiya PS clear, just to kind of dull it down a little bit so it wasn't super glossy. Because you can buy an aftermarket black grille just like this one, and it's not quite gloss finish, it's more of a satin finish, so that's sort of what that does there. I think it looks really great. You'll also notice one additional thing. Knight Customs offers this inner grille, which is sort of a honeycomb shape, and it's much closer to the actual truck, so I wanted to make sure I included that as well. I think it just really sets off the whole front of the truck. Pay attention to where you tape too, because when you get the aftermarket satin grille, it doesn't go all the way to the edge. There is a kind of a valance around the whole outside of the grille, and that should be body color, just so you know. Also, on the front of the hood, you can see I've added a sort of a blackout sticker here. This is just some vinyl that I had trimmed to fit, and I have this on my actual JL too. It just makes the sun not so glaring as it's reflecting off the hood and into your eyes. So nice to have that as well. I also 3D printed some of these hood clips, and these are designed to hold the windshield in place when you fold it down. And that's one thing that was omitted on the RTR and the kit and everything else. I don't know why they didn't include them. I think it's just a nice little addition, adds a lot more scale detail and realism to the front of the truck. That covers all of the cosmetic details that I changed this week. Now let's go on to the inside of the truck, and I'll show off some of the electronic upgrades that I've made too. I'll be sure to put links down below where you can pick up all of these things so you can change your Gladiator into the Ultimate Gladiator too. One of the major changes in stage 2 that we said we were going to be making was electronics, and I have gone over this truck completely and removed all the RTR electronics, and we are starting fresh with a whole new system from Hobbywing. This is the Z-Run brushless combo. It includes the Z-Run Axe ESC and a 2300 kV brushless motor. We've got that installed in the truck now. Very easy to replace the existing electronics. Nothing's really all that difficult. It's essentially 4 screws. You remove the top of the motor cover and the actual motor plate. Take your existing motor off of that plate, put your new motor on, and you are basically done. It's that simple. I haven't changed the pinions or anything. All of that is exactly the same as the RTR. But the 2300 kV motor that is included does offer a lot more aggressive punch and tons of programming options in this Hobbywing Axe ESC. The best part of the Axe, in my opinion, is that it includes a Bluetooth module, so you can do all of your programming from your smartphone. The Hobbywing Link app is super easy to use, and once you've connected, allows you to change all of your parameters on your ESC from your phone. No more messing around with the mode button or any of that nonsense. You can just program it very easily right through here. There is a ton of functionality. It allows you to select all kinds of different features and really makes this a pleasure to use. One of the features the Axe units include is a thing called FOC, and I'm learning a lot about it as I'm getting into this new system. What it allows for is essentially a static sort of amount of throttle applied. So if the truck runs into an obstacle, at some point it just automatically builds more throttle into it, so it continues on at a pace that you already had set. It's a pretty interesting feature. I am a little bit suspect about it and whether or not I'm going to like it on the trails or not. We're going to have to wait until we get the truck outside to actually get that testing done. So I will report on that later on. One other thing about this system is that it is extremely good at low end, and because there's a lot of reduction in the portals, you're already getting a very nice low end in this truck, but this just accentuates how slow that you can actually make a brushless motor go. It's a pretty innovative system, and it's a pretty great system to have in a scaled truck. Not the smallest footprint. Hobbywing, of course, does offer that new all-in-one combo motor ESC, and we'll get to that in another build in the future, but I thought let's start with one of the best systems possible for this ultimate build. Very easy to wire up and very easy to program with the app. Everything just kind of works, and it's very quiet as well, another bonus. You'll also notice a lot of wiring, and a lot of this wiring is due to the MyTrick RC Dragon 1 light kit, and this is a really great unit. I've used these in a number of trucks in the past. So happy to have one for this truck too, and some specific features for the JL and the JT from Axial. You'll notice there are 4 light buckets on the inner fenders, and that's for rock lights. Rock lights are a really nice addition to this truck. Certainly something you would see on the full-size examples that are all kitted out, so it's something I definitely had to do here. Very cool to have those installed. And beyond just the rock lights, there are brake lights that are functional. When you accelerate, the brake lights go off. Very cool. The headlights as well. All of these are on a multi-stage system too, so they'll go from multiple levels of brightness. There are halos that are included as well. I did some modifying to the whole halo light bucket. Not for the faint of heart. A little bit of extra work to get them to sit within the actual Axial light buckets. But MyTrick RC does include printed light buckets, super easy to use, shoe glue them in place. I just went that extra mile and made the halos a little more realistic by including them in the actual light buckets that are included on the truck, and making a little ring of Lexan that's painted white, so the halos actually have a much more solid appearance. Not necessary at all, of course, but something I wanted to do, and I will be adding some more lights. Dan from MyTrick RC is sending me 2 additional sets. One set for the fog lamps. I want to have yellow fog lamps, so he's going to send me another string of those. We'll have to put those in stage 3. And he's sending me another set of white 3 mils for the actual marker lights. So we're going to have a full lighting setup very soon, and very pleased with all of that. This is the Reef's 777. Which is one of their newer servos. Extremely powerful. I don't have any of the specs. The Reef's 777 offers 666 ounce inches at 11.1 volts, 700 ounce inches at 12 volts, 777 at 14 volts. So you can run this at 14 volts, which is crazy. Super high torque, super high speed, and waterproof. They call it submarine waterproof. So we'll test that theory in another truck. I'm not going to put this one underwater. But a really great setup, nice and strong, and more than enough speed and torque for this JT. All of that is going to be powered by my Spectrum radio. I'm running one of the SR515 receivers, and as you can see, very small footprint for all of these things here. Doesn't take up a lot of space. Still plenty of room for a full 5,000 milliamp hour battery pack. I've already switched the Axe-ESC to an IC3 connector so I can use my smart batteries or any number of my Genzace batteries as well, which I've just started collecting. They are excellent battery and definitely one that I would recommend. And one final change that I've made for Stage 2, I've added the new Bauhaus, what the heck is this thing called? I've added the new Bauhaus SVT Panhard reinforcement bracket for the SCX-10 III. This is one of the more common failure points on this axle, is the actual Panhard mount. This bolts into the existing plastic and then takes your whole bolt for your actual Panhard link and mounts directly to a nice solid piece of aluminum. I think it's going to be a great thing and a nice cheap investment to make sure your truck is going to last a good long time. These plastic axles have held up to a lot of abuse on my other truck, the JL, so hoping that this will help extend the life even further. Man, that is a lot of wires. And once we get everything in place, I will definitely shorten all of these and clean them up even further. I am using some of my Alex Tech 1/4 inch wire loom. I think this stuff just not only looks great, but it just cleans everything up. Like, once all that lighting wiring is out of the way, and that's definitely going to be cleaned up, this is nice and clean. I think it's a great look. So there you go. That's Stage 2. We're getting there, man. What would you do to your Gladiator? Put a comment down below. You know I love reading through your feedback. And hey, if you're enjoying this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you get updates anytime there's a new video from the Scale Builders Guild. I was on a bit of a staycation last week and I didn't film any new videos, but I'm really excited to be back in the workshop making content and hope you're enjoying it. I think that's going to do it though for Stage 2 on this Gladiator. I'm really pleased with the progress. I think it looks really awesome and I'm already pretty pleased, but there's going to be a ton more cosmetic stuff coming. I did print out a number of Night Customs pieces. They've all been sanded and primed, and they'll be painted and added to the truck for Stage 3. We've got a lot more to come. Can't wait to show it to you. Thank you so much for watching. See you again soon.